Welcome to Community Forum. My name is John Guglieltino. I'm your host. This evening, we're changing gears again. We're talking to the Lions Club and all the wonderful things they do in the community. And with me this evening is Fran Evans, who's she's a past president and assistant editor of the Jungle Jotters, which is their can't read my own writing, which is their newsletter. And Lynn Meyer, who's the vice district governor, and sometimes he's a treasurer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, John. It's our pleasure.
Among other things. Before we get into our prepared questions, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself as to how you got into this group of the Lions. And
sure.
I guess you got a few tigers, but they haven't been trained yet. So.
No. We stay away from the tigers. Okay. All the other animal clubs, we just leave them alone.
All right. So, a little background on yourself, and then we'll
sure.
and how you got into the Lions.
The 1990s saw an influx of women into the Lions Club, which had traditionally, not though by rules, been a men's organization. And I'd been doing a lot of other activities around in Danbury and on different boards, which was exhausting, as you know, being involved in a lot of different things. And when I was invited to find out more about the Lions, it was absolutely perfect because I could still do a lot in the community, and it would be with one group. There'd be one meeting a week, which is what Lions has. And it was great fun, but you really do work your buns off, which is fun. And it's all about the mission of Lions, which is to serve. And it's a great way to give back to your community, to your state, to the world, really, because it is the largest international nonprofit in the world. And it's just really phenomenal to see how a local club can raise money and do good deeds to serve, and where some of that money goes locally, regionally, and internationally. It's just phenomenal. The work with Haiti and Chile recently with their devastations. It was really interesting. Last week I forgot to tell Lynn that I was watching one of the national news programs while my husband and I were having dinner. And one of the very first things that happened with Haiti was one of our international directors got a phone call, and he immediately gave money to some of the local Haitian clubs, went down there to find out how things were going, and the money that we gave went to tents. And on that news program, they were interviewing somebody in charge of this tent city, and it was like, okay, fine, great job. And in the background, I saw our emblem. I saw this emblem on one of the tents. Okay. So I knew right away that our money was, we were immediate, and just like the World Trade Center, Lions was there immediately doing assistance with the rescue missions, providing support, providing housing. It's just phenomenal how fast the Lions can move, and that's probably because we're all around the world. There are 1.3 million members in Lions around the country, around the world.
So that's what attracted you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good. Len, a little bit about yourself, and then what got you in the Lions.
My history is a little different. I had gone back to college when I was 32 years old to retrain.
Wow.
And became an accountant, and my first job was in Danbury. And I had been a JC in Torrington, because that's where I had lived before. And when I came to Danbury, I wanted to get a chance to meet people and become involved in the community. And one of the ways was suggested that I look into the Lions Club, because there was kind of a natural connection between JCs and Lions over the years. And so that was in 1974. And I was involved with the club for several years at that time, and then became involved with several other organizations in Danbury, and left the Lions Club for several years. About 14 years ago, I decided it was time to come back. And which happens with a lot of organizations, if you're willing to work, they find jobs for you. So I became treasurer at that time, 14 years ago, then decided to become president. And in our club, we have a procedure where you Started out as third vice president, second vice president, and progressed through the chairs.
You worked the chairs to the top, yeah.
Worked the chairs to the top. 2005, 2006, I was president, and we had a very successful year that year. We had a lot of new members, about 10 new members that year. And then they decided, well, maybe I should get around to the district and stimulate some other clubs, and that's what I've been involved with lately. So that's how I got involved with Lions.
Okay. Now, could you? How many members do you have again? I think you mentioned.
We have 98 members.
Okay.
Our club has been membership has been around 100 or in excess of that for several years. But
and they're from all over the area, all the different towns. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we're Danbury Lions, and it's unusual because we have a luncheon club. We meet every week on Thursday, and we have a guest speaker at every meeting. And so it's more usually people who work in the community that are involved with Danbury.
Let's say it here and maybe say it towards the end. What is your websites for people who want to know a little bit more about you aside from what they're hearing?
Well, we have a great website, danburylions.org. The Jottings, which is our regular newsletter, is up on there.
Every
all
month.
Of our events. It's a good website, so people should stop by.
And is there
and
a telephone number for information?
Well, you can always call me, which is 203-797-0405. That's my office.
It's a little slower at tax season, though.
Yeah, right now when it's not tax season.
Getting it, but it's not tax season now. Okay. Let's see. Now, could you tell us about some of the things you do? I guess let's start with the fundraising. What are some of the fundraising projects you do to do all the wonderful things you do? You know, let's talk about the.
Yeah,
fundraisers.
we're just coming up on one with a golf tournament.
Okay.
That's coming up on May 3rd.
We can't get into numbers because this is Comcast. You know, so you can't say it's going to cost X number of dollars.
No. But it's I can cover that up. But it's we're always looking for people that like to play golf, and they can call Lynn.
And that's going to be what day? We can say the day.
Monday, May 3rd.
Okay.
And it's going to be a beautiful day. Absolutely phenomenal day.
Okay. And there's going to be information on the...
It's on the web. It's in the Jottings this month again. It'll be up at the in Sherman at the club at River Oaks. And I'll be there.
You will. Yeah. So
I don't play golf, but I'll be there helping out.
You know, and there's always room for more volunteers.
Yes.
You know, because these fundraisers that you have are all. Well, we'll get into that. Let's talk about the fundraisers, and then we'll say what you use the money for.
Right. Well, we have two other major fundraisers a year. One is the raffle. We have a raffle every year. This year was a cash raffle, and we usually pull the. It's a 90-day raffle. When usually, in fact, John, you were a winner a couple of years ago.
I got the TV set.
You got the TV set.
I think you were president that year, right?
I was either president or meeting past president. I don't remember.
You wrote the check.
I think I was.
You wrote the check for it. That's
what it was. That's true.
You were there that day.
This last 2 years, it's been a cash raffle. 10,000, 2,000, and 1,000. $10 tickets, and we pulled the prize winners in February. That's second, and our third is our breakfast. Is our
December. Chris Charity's breakfast. It's an annual
charity breakfast.
December breakfast. We've had it at the Amber Room the last several years.
And that ties in with your major purpose, isn't it? One of your major purposes, the eyes, is a special emphasis or something?
Right. In 1925, Helen Keller spoke at one of the Lions International's conventions, and at that convention she challenged Lions to be knights of the blind against darkness. And since then, Lions International and all the local clubs have made vision issues one of our major foci for fundraising and activities. The CRIS stands for Connecticut Radio Information Service, and we have a studio down in the basement of WLAD's building. And every single day, except on weekends, we have volunteers going in and reading news and other pertinent items for people who have these sideband radios, and those are free to people who are print or visual challenged, right. So anybody who knows someone who has that type of print disability, we are more than happy to supply a sideband CRIS radio for them. So we have volunteers who are not Lions who go to the studio every day and read into the microphones, which is a little intimidating initially because you have time parameters set in there, something like what you're doing now in terms of when you have to speak, when the ad comes in, and so on. But it's really exciting. We have a very dedicated group of volunteers who have been doing it for years. Occasionally we'll have students who want to do community service who will also come in and do reading.
So that breakfast is the funds raised in that breakfast go primarily to Chris Radio and to our Low Vision Center. And we have a Low Vision Center in Danbury. And the purpose of the Low Vision Center is to provide visual aids to people who have low vision. Now, low vision does not necessarily mean that you're blind, that you have vision problems. And the Low Vision Center provides things like magnifying glasses.
At reduced cost, or is it like
free.
an income base?
At free. Yeah, this is why we raise these funds, to provide those services. Now, if certain services might be covered by Medicare or whatever, in that case they're paid for, but otherwise their devices are free.
Yeah, and the folks who go to the Low Vision Center as part of the Lions efforts go as a result of a referral from their eye physician. And we have a technician there who asks some additional questions and asks specifically what the vision issues are that the person is being challenged with. And as Lynn just said, there are magnifying glasses, but they're lighted glasses of various intensities. There are computer keyboards which are larger and very bright yellow because the optic yellow helps vision a lot more. There are check writing assistant items for people so they can stay independent. A lot of the folks who go also have the opportunity to go to our low vision support group, which meets once a month down at the Danbury Senior Center. And this is really tremendous. A lot of folks who are visually impaired can no longer drive or really have to depend on other people. So they feel somewhat isolated. So being able to get to this support group, which is now 10 years old, once a month really is very helpful to them socially as well as intellectually.
So they help them secure rides and
right. Family members or Lions will go out and pick them up, bring them to the support group. We have a speaker there every month, and they're not speakers only on vision issues. The last couple of months we've had people coming in from some of the continuum of care facilities in our area, talking about some of the issues that some of these people are facing in terms of long-term care or rehab. So it's really interesting. We've had entertainment
number of
type
different
things
issues.
Well. Yeah. It's a really supportive, interesting group. Wearing glasses myself more now. It's really a fun way for all those folks to get together and recognize that they're not alone, that there is support there for them. And they bring up issues as well and share some of their stories. And we generally have new people coming in every month.
Okay. Now, where are some of the other areas that you
Well, one of our major projects in Connecticut is CLIRF, Connecticut's Lions Eye Research Foundation.
Right.
Established sometime in the 50s. And the funds, they've raised $6.7 million. I should say 80s, not 50s. In the 80s this was established. $6.7 million. The funds have gone to Yale, and they've gone to UConn to develop research in vision problems. The results have been phenomenal. The Yale Research Foundation found two factors that affect blindness. Their
macular degeneration was a huge
macular
one.
degeneration. Their DNA factors that have been discovered. They're working on that currently, that may help solve the problem of macular degeneration. The other one is recently by UConn. They've discovered that by observing the vessels in the eyes, the eye vessels blood vessels in the eyes, they can determine if there's a hardening of arteries condition that affects the whole body. And this is UConn's current project they're working on. We're currently raising in Connecticut $1 million to be used for the new pediatric eye center down in Yale, which is going to work on research for problems that of infants and young children, preschool children, such things as glaucoma. Glaucoma in infants, a lot of people don't know about. There are other eye problems they're working on. So we're currently working on that project. Danbury Club has committed $30,000 toward that $1 million fundraising program. So that's
and we've already
raised
raised
$50.
yeah we've already raised $25,000 previous to this, specifically for the Eye Research Center, and it's a phenomenal facility down there. Most of the Lions in Connecticut have, through their clubs, contributed so much to the research centers that if you go down to the Yale Research Center, as you walk in, you'll see all these various separate research rooms with a plaque for a particular club, because we've all given so much to help Yale and partner with them. It's just phenomenal what we're able to do.
So you must be raising quite a bit of money in addition to the fundraising. You must also be throwing in, might be $500 or might be $1,000 an individual.
Oh yes, individuals. There's a current program right now they call the Wall.
You have your regular dues, which covers your lunches, but then you also have...
Oh yes, some of our funds are regular fundraising funds, but individual Lions can contribute too. And there's a current project right now to raise $300,000 in individual pledges of $1,000 each, and there'll be a plaque presentation at Yale when you come into the new pediatric center with your name on it. So you can, if you'd like to have your name on the wall, I'll accept a check for $1,000.
That's a new one. Okay.
Well, they're always thinking up new ways to raise funds.
I've got it on bricks over there.
Right. Yeah.
Same idea.
Okay. Same idea. Okay. So this fundraising, the fundraisers themselves raise how much in a year?
Our current project budget is just under $40,000 this year that come from our three major fundraisers and
then you have your individual effort on top of that.
We have actually, the Danbury Club has two corporations. One is the Danbury Charities, Lions Charities, which is our fundraising organization, and then of course we have the club, which is a separate organization.
Right.
So
one's
we never mix the funds, and
I think
one's a 501c3.
One's a 501c3
Right,
charities, and a 501c4, which is the club.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's really important for folks in the community to know that if they want to give to projects specifically and they don't want it to go towards me buying this shirt, for instance, then absolutely, if you are making a charitable donation, it goes to the charities, and that then goes to our various projects that help.
It's good to know, because
and there's no overhead cost.
And a person writing a check knows that money,
100% goes to the various charities.
Okay.
In addition to that, we have a lot of volunteer services. This is why we need people in the club.
Well, I was going to ask you about volunteerism, and you need people on the inside, but you also have projects where you need collaboration, right?
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can use both members, but also people that collaborate with you.
We do, and we also have members involved in several of our projects. Like we're involved with the Clean the Streets program in Danbury, Haystown Road, from the shopping center all the way up to St. Gregory's is our project, and we'll be starting this month. They would give us a long one, right?
Well, you got a lot of members there too.
We clean that through the summer months into the fall, and we're going to be, our first cleaning is going to be
May 1st.
May 1st.
And that's usually the worst one.
The city's going to be sweeping the streets, so we'll probably be a little bit ahead on that one.
That's one of the really interesting things about our club membership as well. When you ask who are members, our membership is just about every walk of life. I mean, we have accountants, we have lawyers, we have bankers, we have teachers, we have retired people, we have folks from City Hall, we have folks from the police department, the fire department.
Insurance.
Yes. Insurance, thank you. Real estate. independent entrepreneurs.
Let's not forget the mortgage brokers.
Yes, the mortgage broker. I mean, we have a little bit of everybody in Lions. It's the people who make Danbury, Danbury. That's who Lions are. And it's really exciting. And as Lynn noted, if you need to...
What was that expression? The Rotary owns the town, the Kiwanis runs the town, and the Lions, they have fun.
Working our little buns off as we're doing it, but we do have a good time while we're doing it.
Yeah.
The meetings are fun. We get work done, and we certainly have disagreements from time to time, but we all keep the focus on the community and what our mission is, and that is to serve.
It's interesting to see, Fran talks about the variety of people that we have in the club, to see those people each year helping out the Salvation Army by ringing bells. The Danbury Lions Club has been the major fundraiser for Salvation Army for years, right?
Since
Number one bell ringer.
Sheer numbers of people.
The numbers, and you always have the most kettles going, and bring it the most number of dollars.
And we've been doing it since 1971, and we have this official competition with Rotary that who raises the most money. So we sort of use that as an instigation to get folks out to ring as well. One of the other volunteer things we do is selling football tickets to the home football games at Danbury High School, and I think we've been doing that since 1954, some phenomenal.
Goes back into the 50s, and
Hugh Morgan is our chief leader on that. I mean, he's just phenomenal.
And again, it's interesting to see the combination of people come out to work that project every year.
Oh, it's 1946.
Wow.
I was going to say he probably organized it, but he may not have been around to organize it.
Right.
Yeah. Which was before I was born, but Hugh was still doing it then.
I think he was.
He was born in 46?
Yeah,
well, that's
he was.
right. He's up there.
He's in his 80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a young 80.
Yep.
Okay.
And we've also adopted one of the Ability Beyond Disability group homes in Danbury, and we try to help them out when we can inside doing various, painting or small repairs, or holiday time we'll put up wreaths, and whatever they need. When we're available, we go over and help them out. It's very rewarding, but we need people that are available to do these types of activities. So
your website and telephone number again.
Okay. It's danburylions.org, and my telephone number 203-797-0405.
Okay. Now, maybe a little bit about the meetings. People say, how can they have a lunch meeting that's 2 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever, so you got to tell them,
the meeting starts, it's been at the Holiday Inn for years now. We start at 12:15 on the nose. We start with pledging allegiance to the flag. We have an invocation. We have a toast. Then we eat. As we're finishing eating, we have a 50-50 raffle where some of the money is giving back. Part of the money goes to our convention fund.
You have a speaker, right?
And then at 1, we have a speaker till 1:25. Some of our members, because they are working, have to excuse themselves. They generally introduce themselves to the speaker, explain they have to go back to work, and they leave
at 1.
Just before 1. So basically it's 45 minutes. Those of us who can stay for the speaker do.
1:30. Yeah.
Yep, it's at 1:30 and we're gone.
Speakers come from all over the community. They talk about various subjects. We have, I think, an upcoming speaker is Morris Gross is going to be talking about Danbury Hospital's new self-generation of utilities that they're going into, and so that the speakers are very interesting.
Yeah, that should make them money.
They're hoping they will.
Because if you generate enough power, the power company's going to buy it
back to the city.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
And so that we've had Al Baker come and talk to us about what's happening in the police department, and
the mayor comes periodically.
So there's always interesting meeting. It's
we have a joint effort with the fire department, and each year they do a fire prevention poster contest. and we provide a gift certificate or a savings bond to the winners. And the winners locally then go forward to the state competition. And we also have a peace poster contest, which is part of International Lions. And every year we seem to generate winners on the local area that go up to the state, and there have been numerous state conventions where we have local students' artwork displayed, and then that goes up through the various regions of international. So it's really exciting to be able to pull students' work and efforts right on up through international. So
do you have any sponsorship of kids, at the high school or maybe younger?
Well, we have our scholarship program every year. We will be giving 5 scholarships this year to students in the community. That program has been going on for about 25 years as well. And then, but let's not forget some of the other projects that are important.
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I have to tell you about a couple of things. One is the eyeglasses program. We provide eyeglasses for children in need in the community. The school system, the nurses in the school system refer the children, and we pay for the glasses and the eye exams. That's very important.
And that's about $7,000 a year.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of needy kids who are getting eyeglasses, and we're more than happy to do that. We also have some adults who need that same service, and they go through the social service department at City Hall.
We assist them with that. But it's important that we also collect eyeglasses, which the Lions have been doing since the beginning. Those eyeglasses are collected, they're measured, and refurbished as best as they can be.
So it's like a recycling.
And it's recycled, and they are taken into second world countries and provide glasses in need. The lens, actually LensCrafters is very key to that. LensCrafters has been working with Lions International for years to help make that program work. They have volunteers from LensCrafters who will go and help fit the people out with the used glasses.
Okay, maybe your website and your telephone number once again.
One more time.
They're telling us we're out of time.
DanburyLions.org.
Okay.
And 203-797-0405.
So I want to thank you both for coming on the show.
Our pleasure.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to Community Forum. Tune in next week, same time, same station, and we'll have another interesting program. Good night for now. We'll see you then.